The first time you're going to go into a live burn situation, and I understand it's completely nerve-wracking as a student in the Recruit Academy, we need to remember that for the 6 months that we've been training and we've been drilling, we've been building up the skills. We've been building up those little things. The things that you might think are so mundane, they're important. There's a reason that your instructors have been drilling on you for so long. It's because we want you to understand how to do a search properly, how to extend that hose line properly, how to work it around corners so your friction points aren't there. We want you to understand those things. That's why we train so hard and we skill so hard on it. When we push that line into that door and we force entry, we need to make sure that we're forcing entry properly. Get those irons out, get them ready. Make sure that you're in coordination with your hose team, that they are on the right shape, because we don't go into a burning building on a fog pattern. We go in on a straight stream. We need to make sure that we understand that right for fight, left for life, stay right the entire time in the fire building. We're not going to have to worry about that flashover and everything else, because we're going to make sure that the strategy and tactics are there, the skill set's there, and the knowledge is there. We're not going to let that pop in at all, because we're going to be able to combat that right away by hitting that ceiling and dropping ceiling temps 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If we read up on the ULNIST studies that we've done, we understand that's exactly what we're going to do. Force that door, control that door. Have your hose line make that push inside. Make sure we're working around the corners. Make sure we're not at friction points. Make sure we have enough line inside for that man doing the door control to make sure that we are keeping everybody safe. You might think the door control and pushing that line in as the hose man is the lowest job on the totem pole, but do you have any idea how important it is? The backup nozzle firefighter himself is the most important job, I firmly believe, on the fire ground. You are helping that nozzleman make sure he's got enough hose out in front of him to do the job right, to get everything above him, next to him, on the side of him, and below him to sweep that floor before he makes a push even further down that hallway. So make sure that you understand that skill set that you're learning over these 6 months is important. Every single time that we skill on a Thursday night or Saturday morning, there's a reason behind every single movement that we have you do as instructors. We have been blessed to learn from some great people in the fire service, and we are passing it on to you. Don't ever think that the little things that you're learning aren't important. A sentence in that book might change your perspective on things, or might be able to bring you home at the end of the day to your families, which is the ultimate goal. Our life safety is number one, but guess what? You signed up for one of the most dangerous things you can possibly be a part of. You get to run into burning buildings. How many people can say that? But you know what? You don't just give that, or you're not just taking that. You have to earn that right to be able to be that person on that engine company or that truck company. You have to be the firefighter that you want fighting beside you. That's what I want to be. I want to make sure that I'm the best that I could possibly be, and make sure that every single one of these students is the best they could possibly be. So make sure that over these 6 months that you understand that skill set, that you get that skill set. Because when we start going into the can for a live burn, that's it. It's time to rock and roll. It's time to put everything together, those building blocks that we've talked about. We're stacking them one on top of another over 6 months for this live fire day. Because that live fire day, after that, we're giving a stamp of approval to your fire chiefs and saying, yes, sir, these boys and girls are ready to rock and roll. So are the expectations there? Absolutely. You as students need to live up to the expectations. As an instructor, I have to live up to the expectations of Chief Buckman every single time that I teach. And if I don't, I'm doing an injustice. But you as firefighters have to live up to those expectations that your departments, that the fire service, and your communities have for you. If you don't, you're doing a disservice to the fire service in general.